In this tutorial we will cover the blend tool in a little more detail. So let's start by creating two lines again. And remember, let's turn off the fill, so go to your color palette and then let's add a color to this. I'll just use black for now. And actually let's create three lines here. Make it a little more complicated. And I'll create one more line. Remember, you can select some of these anchor points. I'm going to hold down Control, or hold down Shift, sorry, and select some of these anchor points. And I'm going to make them smooth so we add a little more form to the line. And now let's go and select all three of these lines, and then go to Object, Blend, Blend Options, and we're going to do Specified Steps. Say OK, then Object, Blend, Make. So now we have our blend geometry. Notice the blend even folds over, so as this line folds over, it creates a really nice transition in that location. So remember, this is all parametric, so if we want, we can select this geometry. We can select sub-objects of this geometry and start to affect this, and you'll notice the blend will be updated in real time. So let's add some wrinkles into this geometry. Let's do one more down here. Okay, so one thing we might want to do is actually change the path of this blend. So right now the blend is just happening on a linear path from line 1 to line 2 to line 3. So let's say we want to create our own path. I'll go ahead and draw a new path over to the side here. And then let's say we want this to be the path of this blend. To do that, all we have to do is hold down Shift, select the blend, hold down Shift, select the new line, and go to Object, Blend, Replace Spine. And this will actually use the new spine as the path for that geometry. So let me zoom out here a little bit. One thing to keep in mind is I can always use my direct selection tool and actually change this path, and the blend will update as well. So you can create any sort of path that you want. One thing to keep in mind also is if you go over to the layers and open up your layer, you'll notice you have your blend in there. The blend contains the three lines but also the path. So if you want to, for any reason, hide that path or hide any of the initial geometry without ungrouping it, you can always do that there. Finally, if you want to change, let's say I want to select this path, so I only want to work on this path, I can select that path, and then I can always change and update the stroke, and it will update the entire blend. So I can increase the stroke weight. I can also change the color. So if I want to change the color to, let's say, this green, notice it's also blending the color. I can even go in here, and let's say I select this path. I can even go in and change it to a dashed line. So you can see it's going from continuous line now to dashed line back to continuous line. I'll go ahead and change the color of this one as well. So using the blend, you can create quite a number of effects just by changing and blending between different properties. One nice thing you can also do is create additional blends. So let's say I create this line and another line down here, and if I hold down Shift then and go to Object, Blend, you can make additional blends that sort of start to work with the original blend. So I could change let's turn the dash off on that one. So I can now create multi-layered blends to create a more dynamic drawing. Finally, what you can do is combine these two and create a live paint object out of them, but notice to create a live paint you actually have to go to the blend and expand these. Once you've expanded them, you can go to live paint, make, say OK, and then you can start to fill these zones. So if you want to, make sure you have a color selected. If you want to start filling these, let's say with yellow, you can start to fill some of these cells to make a more dynamic and multi-layered drawing. Notice it will only fill closed shapes.